This corner where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And today is Friday. And so I'm here to try to make some sense out of all this nonsense that's going on around the country. And trust me, there is some nonsense.
We believe right now at the regular checkpoint, there's about 6 agents who are.
I didn't get my stuff all set up before I went ahead and went live. So that's me being unprofessional. My fault. But anyway, it is what it is. You get what you get. Now, let's see here. Make sure that I'm getting text messages, first of all. Text messages, but make sure I'm getting notifications. There we go. All right. Yeah, it looks like YouTube sent out a notification to me, at least. How's everybody doing on this Friday? You good? I mean, at least you ain't got to go to work tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. I do. I don't like it. But it is what it is. Got to make that cheese, man. Got to make that cheese. And I ain't no rat. Now, as people are logging on, I'm assuming you can see and hear me. So it says, what, better than Tiger Woods? What happened to Tiger? Somebody said better than Tiger Woods. What happened? Did I miss something? Did Tiger Woods get himself in trouble or something like that? Oh man, I gotta find out. Maybe I need to go ahead and check my news feed. But anyway, yeah, if I miss something about Tiger, let me know. Now, I don't have my music queued up, and I don't have my little card and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna let you know. I rock the planet, beating my chest like a silverback. I hold it down, tipping my crown like a silverback. Yeah. Now, also, that number 330-947. I keep forgetting it. How am I not going to know my own number? 974-4607. Bam. There it is. That's the number you can text MAGA to, just in case they unexist me, and then I can at least let y'all know where we all going to meet at. And finally, if you want to support the channel, you can do it through my Cash App, my PayPal link. Links are below each one of my videos. Make sure you like the videos, share the videos. He was in a car crash. Oh man, is he okay? Is he cool? I mean, you would think Tiger Woods got a driver. Yeah, you know what? Let's see something here. Let's take a little pause and see if I can get a current update on Tiger Woods. Current update on Tiger Woods. Let's see, breaking news. Involved in a car crash today. 50 navigating a channel. Okay. Oh, okay. Replacement surgery, Achilles rupture. So it looks like he's alive. I'm assuming. Let's see. 2026. Yeah. Well, at least he's alive, and that's half the battle, right there. Yeah, it's crazy. Life comes at you fast. 1 minute, you on top. But, I mean, you got to figure. Tiger Woods, at this age, if he got a little injury, it might keep him from playing golf. I'm like, dude, you're 50. I mean, you should be playing for fun out there with, Donald Trump just, hitting balls all over the place. It's like me right now. Yeah, I'm about to go out to play football. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I tear everything in my body, every muscle, So I'm trying to preserve my limbs right now for old age. So when I get older, I might still be able to move. But I hope he's okay. I'll read about it a little bit later. But what I do need to talk about is something, unfortunately, more dangerous to the whole country than a car crash. Car crashes can be deadly and dangerous. But, you have a higher probability of walking away from a car crash than you do surviving Democrats if they get back in power. Yeah, I said it. A little fender bender might set your day back. But the Democrats will set the whole planet back. Whole planet. These folks are committed to evil. And I'm about to go full-blown ham on all of them as we sit back and watch just how deceitful and corrupt these human beings are. If any rational thinking, common sense American vote for Democrats in the midterms, you need your head examined. How in the heaven, after you see these clips I put together for y'all, how in the heaven can any sane American consciously go in there and say Democrat. So now we know they're all about chaos and they're all about their illegal immigrants. That's the first thing that any American should notice. They should recognize these people seem to dedicate all of their time around supporting illegal immigrants. Isn't that odd? I mean, they exclude Americans at the drop of a hat. They will use Americans for their glory, and they deceive Americans by lying about really who's at fault for punishing the American people with, the airports. I mean, they just come out to the mic and lie with impunity, and they're assisted often by the fake news. We already know. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get an update on the latest attempt to support illegal immigrants. And see, that's all it's about. I'm not going to even entertain it being about DHS being funded or all of that stuff. It's everything revolves around these illegal immigrants and getting rid of ICE at the expense of the safety of American citizens, at the expense of the reputation of hardworking, law-abiding ICE agents. They are saying some of the worst things about these ICE agents to where I'm saying anybody in law enforcement should throw mud on Democrats. Nobody in law enforcement should be voting for Democrats. Nobody in the military. I mean, these folks are 100% corrupt and they are willing to throw anybody under the bus to protect their illegals. So let's go ahead and get into it because Donald Trump has put them in a little bit of a pickle because they didn't want to, they didn't want to fund, DHS. They want ICE, pretty much abolished. And see, they'll sit back. We don't mind ICE existing. We just want to reform it to the point where ICE can't do nothing. See, that's the goal. So they try to have, their cake and eat it too. But then some of them are just bold enough to come out and say, oh, we want it gone. We want it abolished. So, they're trying to hang on to that. And what did Trump do? Trump said, okay, they want to play games. They don't want to pay the Homeland Security. We'll pay them. We'll pay them. I'll sign an executive order to pay them. Plus, I'm going to send ICE agents down there to assist. Now, it puts them in a bind, puts them in a pickle. Now, what are they going to say? Don't pay these folks? Is that what they're going to say? Of course, they'll probably try to say something like that. Or they'll try to own it and say, see, Trump finally listened to us. He's paying them. But no, we're not paying them the right way. Okay, the right way is for you idiots to go ahead and sign the bill. But they're not going to do that. They don't want to do that. But it's starting to look real bad for them because one, you got ICE agents down there assisting and helping things go faster. So it kind of infringes upon their narrative that ICE is evil, they're Gestapo and all of this stuff. And then two, they would be dummies to come out and argue against funding these people. So with that being said, let's see how it's going at these airports now that Trump done put them, in a little conundrum.
We believe right now at the regular checkpoint, there's about 6 agents who are working the lines up front. So that's helping move things through. The TSA pre-check line is actually longer than the main checkpoint line. And I'm walking you this direction because I want everyone to see the active lines here at the airport, because that's when you get a good sense about how the security lines are working. We've actually tracked at least 7 people today who've given us a different estimate for the time they spent, anywhere from 4 hours to 2 hours. And that's mostly the pre-check.
It's unfortunate that...
Now, you see this? Here comes the lies. Here comes the lies. Now, the scary part about how corrupt these people are is the fact that just the everyday Joe Smo might listen to these people and really believe what they're selling. See, and definitely, if you're suffering from TDS, you definitely are receiving what they're selling. But all it takes is just a second to think this thing through, and you'll realize that they are responsible for all the chaos. They're trying to create so much pain, so much havoc, so much chaos, so much disorder that people will just inflexibly go and vote for them, thinking that everything's chaotic under Trump. And they have no solutions. They want people to ignore all of the chaos that they're bringing, ignore the fact that their policies suck, ignore the fact that when they were in power last, everything sucked. They want folks to ignore that because they want to replace that pain with some fresh pain, with some false pain. See, I mean, if you mess around and get a splinter and then you go out and you blow your knee out, you ain't thinking about that splinter no more. You sitting there like, man, I know I was whining about something a minute ago, but right now I could barely walk. My knee is going boom, 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 boom. You're thinking about that. That's what they're trying to do. They know that they can't come out there and win on policies. They know they can't come out there and give new ideas and suggestions. So what they do is they say, let's cause chaos and see how many folks will focus just on the chaos and not realize we're responsible for it and say, man, look, I'm voting, for the Democrats because apparently under Trump, everything's chaotic. So now here he comes out and he is making up stuff about why they don't want to fund, Homeland Security, all this stuff. Listen to these lies.
Republicans have decided that they would rather force TSA agents to work without pay, inconvenience millions of Americans all across the country, and now potentially expose them to untrained ICE agents.
Now, do you realize what he's doing? He is saying exactly what they're doing. I mean, they're so easy to break down. All you got to do is say, wait a minute, whatever they're saying, they themselves are responsible for doing just that. He is relying 100% on dumb people. And we got a whole heap of dumb folks. Boy, I tell you, man, I see them walking around all the time. I'm like, boy, do they know they're dumb? Do they know that? They don't know they're dumb? See, so now this guy is saying Republicans want to put people out there, these employees, and make it painful. Why? Why would Republicans want to do that? And then, he's talking about and then replacing with ICE agents. And listen to what he says about our brave men and women for ICE and ICE.
And create chaos at airports throughout the land rather than get ICE agents under control.
Rather than get ICE agents under control. So getting them under control, first of all, means neutering them, according to the Democrats, or totally abolishing them. Now, why are they doing this? Why are they picking a fight with ICE? All you got to do is ask yourself, wait a minute, what does ICE do? What is ICE responsible for? What would they want to protect from ICE? Is it really the American people who ICE is just going into American neighborhoods, targeting Americans and punishing them and terrorizing them? No, ICE is responsible for getting rid of all of their new voters. That's what ICE is responsible for. ICE is responsible for getting them out of the country, all 20-something million of them or whatever, And so because of that, these folks are building their whole career right now around going after ICE, stopping two things that are important that could hurt the Democrat Party. One, ICE and deportations will get rid of their future voters, and that census that's coming up. And then the other one is that SAVE Act. Now, why would they have a problem with the SAVE Act? What would the SAVE Act do? The SAVE Act would ensure that all of their new voters can't vote. That's what it would do. It would make everybody have to prove that they're an American citizen before they can vote. So instead of just saying, you know what, we set this thing in motion so that we can have a new voter base and can cheat like we always do, have a loosey-goosey process. And by you guys putting some, bridles on this thing, making it responsible, making it trustworthy, you're messing that up. So now we can't tell the American people that our whole strategy revolves around protecting illegal immigrants. So what we're going to do is lie to them and tell them women are stupid, they can't figure it out. Black folks are stupid, they can't figure it out. Or to disenfranchise everybody except for white middle-class Americans. Now, isn't that odd? Why is it that they never include that it might suppress white middle-class Americans too? Are they saying everybody besides them are dumb? So what they're doing is trying to unite everybody against white middle-class Americans that most likely won't vote for them, and try to paint the picture that this isn't about voter safety and voter, ID. No. This is about racism. This is about Jim Crow 2.0. This is about all of this stupid stuff. And what we really know is about is protecting who? Not us. Yeah, not the integrity of Americans and their voting process. No, it's to protect their illegal immigrant new voters. So when Americans finally realized that these folks don't care about us. They only are focused on legal immigrants. If you think about all of the chaos that these people have been, starting since Trump got in, everything revolves around these illegal immigrants. And these people are hell-bent, or they want to down the hill for these folks. So listen to this evil that comes out of this man. Pure, 100% evil.
Have shut down the Department of Homeland Security because they don't want to get ICE under control.
That's what it is. They shut it down. No. You guys shut it down because y'all want to get ICE under control, and getting them under control means stopping them from deporting your precious illegals. So now, what is he saying? He has to demonize ICE. He has to lie about ICE to make ICE seem like they're out of control. And listen to how far he goes with the lies. These folks have no governor. They don't realize they are bad-mouthing and demonizing citizens that put their lives on the line.
And as a result, TSA agents are being forced to work without pay. Americans are being inconvenienced all across the country.
Now, I hope that these TSA agents really know who's responsible for this. I hope they're not just so removed from politics that they're just walking around thinking this had just happened. This stuff just happens like this. I hope that they know just by the fact that Trump signed an executive order to get them paid, that shows that Trump is not responsible for this. Trump wants to see you get paid. And that puts them in a pickle because they're going, crap. Now it looked like Trump really want to get them paid. And it looks like we don't. See, so let's go ahead and hear him lie some more. Boy, I tell you, man, I wish there could just be like a buzzer or something every time they lie. That buzzer would consistently be buzzing. It wouldn't even go bam. It'd just be one long bam. So here we go.
And chaos has been created in airports throughout America. Why?
Now, always saying the opposite of what's happening. Always saying now, the ICE agents have brought more civility to, the situation at the airports. But then what do they say? Chaos. Same thing. Trump sends in the National Guard, cleans up Memphis, cleans up DC. What is that? They're chaos. They're sending their folks in. It's creating chaos. It's always chaos. Not real chaos, but imagined chaos. They speak chaos in existence. And if folks don't buy it, then they'll send in their goons to create chaos. Yeah, they'll send in all the protesters to stir up some stuff.
Why? Because Republicans apparently want to continue to spend billions of dollars to unleash mass and untrained ICE agents.
Mass and untrained ICE agents. The same billions of dollars that are already appropriated. See, they'll never tell you that. Yeah, they want you to think that they're trying to stop ICE from getting their money, but ICE already got their money. They've been funded. So what is this about? This right here is about changing up the game plan with ICE and stopping them from doing their job. So now this liar, and it should be a crime to get on TV and be a very obvious liar like this. These folks are transparent liars. Only an idiot, and we got a lot of them, could listen to this shite and say, yeah, that's right, the Republicans are responsible. You don't realize what this dude's doing? And it's all being done to protect, not us, they're illegal immigrants.
To brutalize and kill the American people and violently target law-abiding immigrant families. Did
you hear that, fool? Brutalize and kill American people. Now, I'm wondering, I wish ICE could have a class action suit or something for defamation for these Democrats. They literally are telling the people that ICE is out there just killing American citizens randomly. No context, nothing. They're not talking about how these folks put themselves in a predicament. And look at that smile. They lie straight through their teeth and they don't even stop. Like, at what point do you override your conscience like this? All these Democrats have a shared conscience. They're reprobate in their thinking. These folks are so far gone with the evil, they don't realize. They probably don't even know they're lying at this point. They lie so quick, so easily, they probably don't even know they're lying. Just like what? I'm telling the truth. I'm believing my own lies. And yet, anybody with common sense can see through this facade. I'm saying, man, this dude looks so fake. He sounds so fake, trying to make it up. All of them. Force lies. Let's continue.
Trump has
And the guy's sitting there. See, Hawker Jeffries won't come in Kevin's corner and have that same conversation. He won't do that. Yeah. And here he is again. Listen to this. Now he's going to lie about, what motivated Trump to go ahead and get funding for DHS.
caved again. He's finally agreed to the Democratic demand to pay TSA agents.
Now you hear the lie? Donald Trump has caved again. He finally agreed to the Democrats' demand to pay the agents. Well, guess what he didn't agree to? All of the stupid stuff that y'all want so that ICE can't do their job. He didn't agree to that. So who caved? Yeah, see, the lies never stop. Anybody watching my show right now that votes for a Democrat, or if you know somebody, send them this video so that they can stop for 1 second. Yeah, that don't make no sense. Yeah, because see, they're whining about what ICE has to do. ICE needs to do this. We need reform. ICE needs to do that. Well, if Donald Trump caved, he would have gave them what they want for ICE, but he didn't. He's like, okay, just pay the people. And now this guy wants to take credit. He wants to make it seem as if Trump finally said, well, I've been, for whatever reason, not wanting to pay these people just because I'm evil. Just because I'm evil. Okay. And the Democrats, the compassionate Democrats that are looking out for the American workers, been saying, man, why don't you, Trump, man, why don't you pay them? Ain't nothing standing in the way, man. Look, we're willing to sign the bills. We willing to, look, man, we ain't trying to, take nothing away from ICE, none of that stuff, man. You just tripping, Trump. You're just tripping. And Trump is over there going, yeah, I just want to see folks suffer. So then, if that's the case, why would Trump go ahead and say, pay these folks, but you're still not going to get what you want out of ICE? That's what y'all want. Y'all really are going after ICE. See, so now, full-blown lie, trying to take credit for Trump signing an executive order to pay them.
He should have done it weeks ago.
Now, you see the evil? He should have done it weeks ago. These folks are willing to punish Americans. That shows you that they don't care about Americans. They're punishing us for illegals. And we got too many dummies that can't see it, man. They think these folks are really fighting for the American people. And I'm like, oh, don't you realize they don't care about you? All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. This dude right here, yeah, he should have done this weeks ago. And I'm saying, y'all are willing to see people suffer. They don't care what they have to do to attain power. Back in the day, when they were trying to vet Trump against Putin, they were willing to risk World War III. Back in the day, when they were trying to encourage, Trump to do this and do that and stuff like that, or discourage him, they're willing to put people at risk. That's why we can't trust them with nothing. Nothing. Why didn't y'all tell us about this war and the attack or us dropping the bomb on Iran? Why would we do that? Why would we do that? We know you guys would sacrifice 1 million soldiers just to get back in power. Y'all would not care about any. Y'all would leak that mess at the risk and the expense of our troops. They're willing to sacrifice whomever. They're willing to sacrifice their own dumb, useful, idiot Americans that are willing to go out there, put themselves in danger by fighting with ICE, resisting arrest, almost running them over. Yeah, they don't care about them people. Yeah, you think they don't even really care about the illegal immigrants like that. The legal immigrants are just useful to them. It's a means to an end. Because if they cared about them, they would be inquiring about where's those 300,000. No, wait, it might have been more than that. The 1.3 million kids. No, I think it was like 800,000 missing kids and stuff like that. But yet, when they see one little kid out there with his little red hat on because his dad ran off and left him because he didn't want to get deported, now everybody's showing that kid and they're worried about the kids. Worried about the kids. Never mention all of those missing ones. Never mention the ones that die on the trek, that are trafficked. They don't mention those. Yeah, they're always using everybody just for themselves. But let's continue hearing these lies.
Hardworking TSA agents will now be paid so we can end the chaos at airports all across the country.
Now you hear this lie? The hardworking. You think he cares about? I hope they don't think that these Democrats care about them. I'm hoping every one of those agents know who's responsible for this. This dude is lying. He don't care nothing about you being a hardworking. They would have shut this mess down for eternity if they could have. Lucky we got a president that's crafty and wily and elusive and able to outsmart them, able to put them in positions to have to make choices. Other than that, they would let it ride. These folks would tank our whole economy. They will sabotage our efforts in Venezuela. They will sabotage our efforts in Iran. They will sabotage our efforts with the tariffs. Anything that might make us great, might be beneficial towards Americans, they will sabotage any of that. Because if things go well, they don't get voted back in. They would rather see us fail. They would rather see jobs lost. They would rather see the economy crash. They'd rather see lots and lots of soldiers get killed. They'd rather see all of that than to go ahead and root for us as Americans. That's how evil these people are. And they just casually walk up to the microphone and lie. Look, he put a little mic on. I mean, he didn't check for wind. All I hear is whoosh.
And now we're on to continuing the fight to get ICE under control.
You hear that? That's what they back to. See, so now technically what he had to admit is, okay, Trump went around us to fund, our agents. But don't worry, woke folk. We're still fighting to get ICE under control. That's what we're still doing because Trump circumvented us. See, so now we got to go ahead and try to make it seem like he only did that because of us telling him, you need to pay these people. You need to pay these people. If Trump wouldn't have did that, they would have let these people go 8 months without pay. Easily.
Because we believe that taxpayer dollars should not be used to brutalize or kill American citizens.
Yeah, we believe those taxpayer dollars should be used to house illegal aliens, bring them here, feed them, give them health care. That's what we believe. And then have them commit murder against you guys, the American people. Yeah, I don't come out here and talk about how they're brutalizing American citizens, but I will lie about ICE and say ICE is out there brutalizing American citizens and our illegal immigrants. Yeah, but he didn't call them that. Our immigrant population, I guess. See, but yeah, the tax dollars, he wants to be concerned about tax dollars. Yeah, our tax dollars. And I'm saying those tax dollars, all of those billions that y'all spent on these folks, and yet you don't want ICE to deport those folks. Even if many of these folks are murderers. Yeah, you don't care about that. Always coming out talking about them, but you never talk about us.
Or violently target law-abiding immigrant families.
Or violent immigrants target law-abiding American families. Now, isn't that odd? Thank you. How did he miss that? He don't see that? See, if you are looking out for us, you would be saying illegal immigrants violently. That goes to show how differently Republicans think and conservatives think and just common sense Americans think than these idiots right here. They're worried about that ICE might violently target our immigrant community. And I'm saying, no, the illegal immigrant community has many folks in it that have been violently targeting American citizens. How about you reverse that logic? But you want us to sympathize with them. Man, I want to kick this dude right in the testes. That's what I want to do. Make him shoot right out of his nose. Man, this dude is evil, but he's not the only evil one. How do people vote for these folks?
Your taxpayer dollars should be used to make your life more affordable.
He's talking to the illegal immigrants, most likely. Yeah, now all of a sudden he wants to talk about your tax dollars should be used. Yeah, but he won't confirm all of the tax dollars that are used for their precious illegal immigrants. You see how that is? I mean, this is redirection at its best. And I wonder if dummies catch it. I wonder if dummies stop for a second and they think, wait a minute, if 20 plus million folks came in here in 4 years, they got to be staying somewhere. They got to be using somebody's facility. They got to go to the hospital sometime. They got to have their kids in somebody's school. They got to eat. I mean, they're not out there with their own land farming and building stuff. They're mingling amongst us. How are they surviving? Oh, first things first, get yourself to a sanctuary city or state. There you go. And watch them use taxpayers' dollars to make sure these people are accommodated. And yet now he's worried about taxpayers' dollars for Americans. Only reason he's using that for Americans is to try to get us to not vote for Trump. Yeah, we're supposed to vote for these folks who love raising our taxes, who love making sure that, they have all of these requirements to open businesses. They're not tax friendly. That's why everybody's leaving their S-hole ran states and cities. But now he wants us to be worried about taxpayers' dollars.
But as a Democrat, look at Denver Airport near your district.
Now you ready? You ready for some more evil? That's why I say you cannot despise this party enough. Now watch this, the sleight of hand.
They're asking people to donate gift cards for TSA agents to make ends meet. The airport says, this is a huge generator in terms of what the airport does for the region. This is hurting your community.
But we don't care about that. Yeah, they're not our community. Our community is the illegal immigrants. Remember, they're our brothers, our sisters, our nieces, our cousins, so we don't care about our community.
So we are ready to go. They are in control of every facet of government.
Are left stuck. We're about to be in spring break, heavy traffic season.
They are in control of every element of government. They're in control of what we vote for and don't vote for.
Now you see the sleight of hands? Once again, lies. Once again, not telling everybody that's buying this crap, if they are buying it, that you know what? The Republicans can put up a vote as many times as they want. They can't pass it unless they got 60 votes. So by us just saying that they're in control of everything, they're ready to go. Whenever they meet our terroristic demands, whenever they go ahead and capitulate and say, all right, yeah, we'll abolish ICE. We'll make sure that you guys can keep all of your illegal immigrants. We'll make sure that, we have to get judicial warrants to go and get these illegal immigrants. We'll make sure all of that stupid stuff. We'll make sure they don't have masks on so y'all can dox them, attack them, and all of that stuff. And yet here he is trying to make it seem like the only thing holding this up is the Republicans. We're ready to go. Okay, well, if that's the case, then why can't we pass it without your votes? See, if we need your votes, then that's a problem. That means that you guys are holding up the show. We are ready to go. You guys are now, because see, that lady on that set is not she ain't gonna bring that up. She ain't gonna bring that little hiccup up. She ain't gonna say, yeah, I hear what you're saying about, well, they're in control of the government and we're ready to go. They're the ones not ready. She's not gonna say, yeah, but they can't pass that without you guys voting for it, right? Unless we abolish that dang on filibuster like we need to do. And stop playing around with these people. But now you see the liars? Always misplacing the blame. And the media don't check them. So I'm here to check them.
We are saying, let's open it back up.
Another thing that your colleagues that you caucus with, Democrats, are working on with Republicans is ending the DHS shutdown. Do you believe that Democrats have achieved anything as a part of the DHS shutdown?
No. All they've achieved is punishing workers and flyers. That's it. That's all they've achieved. But and making themselves look stupid and making me despise them even more. That's what they've achieved. Conservatives better come out and vote like their lives depended on it. Look how casual these folks just talk about that. And then they telegraph what they're going to do if they get back in power. And it all revolves around their precious illegal immigrants.
I think they try to make the point that ICE is out of control.
Yeah, they tried to make the point that ICE is out of control. What are you talking about? Out of control? Huh? That's the point. See, all of this demonizing ICE. And I'm saying, man, you guys are scum. These are American citizens that are working for the executive branch to clean up this mess. And they're betraying them for illegals. In fact, they're betraying us for illegals. They've betrayed us for illegals by opening up that border and bringing all these millions of folks in here, knowing that they could put us at risk. And this fool, ICE is out of control. No, the Democrat Party is out of control. ICE wouldn't be out of control if y'all didn't allow that border to be out of control. Yeah, I guess that was controlled. I guess that right there was controlled chaos. Seeing all these folks climbing over stuff, coming through stuff, running past our guards while y'all are lying to our faces talking about the border is secure.
ICE is out of control and it needs fundamental reforms.
And did they make that point in your view?
Well, you'll have to judge that. I think.
No, they didn't. Because we're not falling for it. And if Republicans bend the knee to that, they need to get kicked in the testes.
And very hot.
The problem with ICE being at the airports.
Now, here's another liar. Here's another liar. Listen to this. This is the problem with ICE being at the airports.
To supplement TSA, they're just not trained to do what TSA does. They're certainly there to have a...
What? Take out your laptops, take out your cell phones, put your stuff in the basket. Over there, stop, wait right there. Okay. All right, now you can go. They're not trained. So I guess all of our ICE agents are incompetent across the board. Across the board. Because remember, they're not trained to go out and actually arrest illegal immigrants, even though they've still been doing the tactics that they were doing years ago under Obama. But, that was different then. So they don't know how to do stuff. And these are officials, man. These are people in power. And they are punching down on the people that they rely on to protect us.
A larger presence. I'm not sure how that is really helping with the problems with the lines because they cannot help in the scrutiny, right? I'm not sure. But what I do think is that the president wants America to get used to seeing ICE on the streets of America.
Oh, and y'all want America to only see ICE as Gestapo, Nazis, just murderers. That's what y'all want to see them as. Yeah, y'all want to paint them as something that they aren't. And the sad part about it is it has worked. Agree. It goes to show the power of continually lying to the masses. After a while, they'll say, well, I guess ICE is bad. It goes to show the power of the fake news, the power of imagery, showing a couple pictures of somebody who got themselves thrown on the ground. And yet, what does that do? Send a signal to people's mind, along with them constantly getting on ICE is out of control. They're killing Americans, this and that. Nobody viewed ICE like this until these people decided to make ICE the enemy. Nobody viewed them like this. Most folks didn't even know what ICE was. But then when ICE became responsible for undoing what they did, now all of a sudden it's all, attacks on ICE. ICE is this, ICE is that. They don't know what they're doing.
In polling places, in airports, and other places. I think he wants that to be commonplace.
We ran a lot of stories today on CNN and in other mainstream media outlets showing where ICE was. In fact, I saw them handing out water to people in an airport. I would think the people in Georgia who were worried about water.
But that's not why they're there. That's not why they're there. Big face. Anytime our law enforcement goes in and does anything, most of the time the people love them. I mean, remember all of those evil Nazis that Trump sent to Washington? And then you saw them interacting with people and people was like, thank you for your service. Things are sure enough peaceful in here. People love them. Same thing what's going on with ICE right now. They're showing people that they're humans because you guys have spent the last year and something saying that these cats were murderers, full-blown murderers. But it gets worse. The demonization gets worse. And that's why I say, how can any sane American vote for Democrats? I just don't understand it. They're willing to do this to our citizens.
Why are they doing that and not actually enforcing our immigration laws on the city?
Oh, they're supposed to be enforcing our immigration laws. So now you're mad that a lot of them is at the airports. Hey, you can't win with these people. So now all of a sudden they're supposed to be because it's all about making Trump look bad. We want that chaos at the airports. We don't want y'all to stabilize the situation. We don't want ICE to look human. Now all of a sudden you want them to enforce our immigration. And I'm saying, but yet when they were doing that, you were whining about it. Get them out those cities. Yeah, you were talking about they're going too heavy-handed. Yeah, but now you want them to enforce it. See, the deceit, the lies, the contradictions, anything they need to say in that moment to go ahead and try to undermine what's taking place. They'll say it. Try to make it seem like now all of a sudden they support them going back out and doing their job.
Because TSA is understaffed and we need line management, and it appears to be.
No, we don't need line management. We need more people.
Tell that to the people in the.
We're at the last couple of seconds of this segment.
Okay,
go ahead.
so we have 3 funded agencies in the Department of Homeland Security and 5 unfunded agencies and 22 unfunded components. It is not new for funded agencies at DHS to go and assist or take on. Not every role is a TSA screening role. If you look closely around those airports at where TSA agents are on a normal day and what they're doing a lot of different things. 90% of them any law enforcement officer can do. There are 10% of them where there's special training, as you point out, that they can't do.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you talking about, big face? But look, here's some more liars about who's responsible for this chaos.
It's unclear right now whether any deal is emerging, right?
That's right.
In the meantime, TSA agents are going to not show up, or they're not going to be there, and they're not going to get paid, and these long lines at airports are going to continue.
That's right. And
that's right. And yeah, she knows she has an ally. Yeah, he's throwing her ball. I thought they're not going to get paid. And then meanwhile, all this chaos is going to take place and this and that. Now I'm going to give you a minute or two to go ahead and misplace the blame without being, confronted at all. Somebody said, good night, Kevins. Oh, y'all on a whole different time where you at. So, but anyway, let's watch Blitzer sit there and let her say these lies.
Every single time it comes down to a choice, this administration says we choose to hurt workers.
You see what I'm saying? You see why I despise these people. We could never let these people get back in power again. They decide, you know what? We decide to hurt workers. Yeah, that's what it is. So it's not you guys hurting the workers for your precious illegal immigrants, right? It's not the fact that without your vote, this bill can't pass and those people can't get paid. So really, who's responsible for hurting workers when all the Republicans are saying, we all good. We're willing to sign. You guys are the ones that say, no, not because of ICE and this and this and that.
To put the American people last.
Projection. All projection. They're putting us last. They're putting illegals first. This is all about those illegal immigrants being threatened by deportation from ICE.
And he is using TSA workers as collateral for an extreme agenda.
Can you believe the projection? See, what kills me is we see it so clearly. We know exactly what they're doing. We're going, this is fascinating. To sit there and watch these humans get on there and say the exact opposite of what's really happening. They're describing their own behavior. And it's so obvious to us, but man, it's so frustrating because we are at risk of dummies buying this stuff and voting back in these people. And I'm saying you can't vote in people that lie this easily. You cannot trust these people who get to that mic and drop this stuff out here like this, knowing that they're describing their own playbook.
That nobody wants. When oil prices go up, they say, oh, that doesn't matter. Our economy will be fine. Take away health care for millions of people. They say it's okay.
Especially those illegal immigrants.
Okay, because we got tax cuts for billionaires. And now they're saying TSA workers should continue to show up, work without pay when they are facing skyrocketing costs. And that's what we're going to do until we can pass a bill that makes it very difficult for people to vote in this country.
No. People or who? Once again, we're showing everybody who these people really care about. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Do you think she's talking about making it difficult for people, American citizens, to vote in this country? Nah. They're holding up everything because who do they want to vote? Illegal immigrants. There it is. Y'all can't make that connection. So obvious. We see their whole strategy laid out. It's so transparent. I'm saying, okay, first things first. Break the border and lie to us. That's seasonal migration. We can't stop it. We need immigration reform, blah, 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 and the border's closed. Pack as many of these people in as you can. Then use our tax dollars to supplement these people. Make sure they get hooked on the government assistance so that when you have an open voting process like these Democrats want, okay, these folks can get registered to vote for whom? You guys. There it is. Do you think they're going to vote Republican? After you guys been spending all these years bringing them here, protecting them, fighting for them, convincing useful idiots to go out there and put their lives on the line, traveling overseas to go and try to bring them back to the country, demonizing ICE. You think they're going to vote for Republican? Nah, they're going to vote for you. And all of these idiots are helping them to do it. That's what it is.
That is insanity.
More than 3,000.
That's insanity. To require only Americans to vote. That's insanity. They just easily get up there and say stuff, and I'm going, who's believing you?
1,000 TSA agents nationwide called out sick since Monday, and that translates to nearly 11% of its workforce. Meanwhile, any momentum toward reopening DHS, it hit a brick wall yesterday.
Oh.
This after Democrats pushed back against a Republican proposal that they persuaded President Trump to consider. The GOP accusing them of changing the rules in the middle of the game.
Of course.
This does not have any reforms in ICE. Negotiations are ongoing, and they sent us an offer, and we'll be sending them an offer back.
Now, why can't common sense Americans just ask themselves, why are they upset about ICE doing what ICE is supposed to do, so deport illegal immigrants? Why? Why are they upset about this? Why are these undocumented citizens so concerning for the people, so precious? I mean, what are they benefiting to Americans and America that these folks are willing to risk keeping them here? Because that goes against everybody's common sense. If you strip it down, you're able to really find out what's going on. Think about this. If I am the protector of my home, and I am responsible for making sure the resources are distributed properly, everybody got what they need, and all of this stuff, I would never want to overwhelm the system. I wouldn't want to put the burden on, me to say, okay, now I got to distribute all of this stuff amongst my family members. Now we're crowded in the house. I brought in all of these people. That right there would go against common sense and self-preservation. So by bringing these people here, that if they were responsible, if these people weren't a benefit to them, they would never do it. They have to have some type of end game for these people, because if they had to come out of their pockets, if they didn't see no benefit to these people, I'm saying, then why are you fighting to keep them here? If you knew that they're not going to vote for you, if you knew that they're not going to provide cheap labor, all they're going to do is take with no benefits, y'all would kick these people out. But you're overlooking all of that for some reason. That must mean they're going to benefit you some way. And all you got to do is start asking the simple questions. How could a whole bunch of folks from other countries benefit the Democrats to where they're willing to fight to keep them here as if they were American citizens? How could they benefit them? Okay. And also, they don't want voter ID, and they don't want folks to be registered as an American citizen to vote. You don't see the connection? You don't see that connection? I mean, it's so simple. Just open your eyes.
And I can assure you, it'll contain significant reform in it.
I understand that Senator Schumer is now asking for some additional concessions in our agreement to open up everything.
Tell them to go kick rocks.
ICE. We're not going to agree to that.
Yeah, Democrats in charge of the White House and in charge.
So Johnson is mad because we now know that the Democrats don't care about Americans. That young lady who got killed up there in Chicago, they're not running to the mic to talk about her. No vigils. They're forced to talk about her. And when they do, they misdirect the blame and all that stuff. So Johnson's now going to bring it up and expose that, hey, Americans, all the dummies that might be tricked into voting for them in the midterms, they don't care about us. Look how they responded to this young lady being killed by one of their precious illegal immigrants.
In the city of Chicago. Open borders policies, sanctuary cities policies. They coddled the criminal illegal alien. They empowered, they allowed this to happen, and that's why we're so angry about it. He was in the custody of law enforcement twice. And there were two chances to stop Sheridan's killer.
Yeah.
But Democrats' open borders guaranteed the release, and their soft on crime sanctuary policies ensured his impunity, and that's why this happened.
Now, only if this could be blasted to all Americans to understand what's going on. This is the frustrating part about the Republicans. See, unless you watch Fox News Americans ain't hearing this. You know, this is they don't utilize the gifts that the Democrats give us. It's like they don't want to win. I mean, why do we have all of this money for the RNC rather, if we're not taking all of these sound bites and, educating the public about, hey, this is what they're doing. I mean, just run a 30-second piece showing how it all connects, showing how they treat American citizens versus illegal immigrants, showing the real reason why they hate ICE, showing the real reason why they don't want voter ID. Just show that. I mean, because they leave evidence all over the place.
And Sheridan Gorman should still be with us and her entire life still ahead of her. But it's the same fate that befell Laken Riley, too, and so many others. Names that
common folks don't even know nothing about. Because the Democrats ain't going to bring them up. The fake news ain't going to bring them up. So if you're not following, MAGA, if you're not watching conservative news, you ain't going to hear no Laken Riley's name. No. You ain't going to hear, anybody's name that could shine a light on how dangerous a lot of these illegal immigrants are.
How many more times does this story have to be repeated?
As many as it takes when it comes down to the Democrats, because that's how evil they are. They're like, yo, man, I don't care if illegal immigrants kill thousands of Americans. We ain't letting them go. We ain't sending them back. We don't even want the apparatus that could even go after the violent ones. We want to shut ICE down. That's what we want to do and leave all of these Americans at risk.
Everybody needs to be asking that question. Unfortunately, the Democrats' agenda is going to continue to come at the expense of American citizens.
Yes, it will. And will get worse if they get back in power. If you don't think they will fire up that border again, and get rid of all the opposition that could stop ICE and stop the conservatives, period, they'll do it. And we'll see by the end of my show.
Innocent American people. As long as the Democrats insist on shielding dangerous criminals.
But look at the difference between the American people that's getting killed, that we talk about versus the ones that they talk about. See, only time they talk about American people getting killed is when they can go ahead and frame ICE. When they can say, look, ICE is out there killing Americans, killing them. Innocent Americans didn't do nothing. But yet, when they're illegal immigrants, kill American citizens. The very group of people that they're protecting kill American citizens. They don't talk about those American citizens. They're not worthy of being talked about and protected. No. They didn't do nothing to get themselves killed. They didn't get in the way of ICE and almost run somebody over. That young lady, she didn't almost run somebody over and then they acted in self-defense. No. That lady wasn't doing nothing. But according to that one Democrat up there in Chicago, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. They startled them. Unbelievable. And we're about to see an example of how much these folks care about illegal immigrants. And this is one of them things where I'm saying, why don't anybody put this in an ad?
From our laws. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Democrats marching in the streets for Sheridan Gorman. They won't even talk about her today. No. I promise you, they won't even bring it up. No one holding signs demanding justice for her killer. It's among the most shameful episodes we have ever seen.
Nah, they're going to be out there. They're going to be out there. Justice for shit. Nah. It's justice for Alex or whatever her name was.
They cannot even bring themselves to say that this shouldn't have happened.
Nah, they won't say
We hope that someday Democrats finally come to their senses again and put the safety of American citizens first. But
not going to happen. Not going to happen. That party is toast. And I'm showing all of the evilness to show just how much they are. And they're burnt toast. Yeah, I'm talking, they ain't even that nice brown, golden brown toast with butter. Nah, they're that toast that's so burnt you can't even scrape it off. Like my mom and them used to do when she accidentally burned the toast. Boy, that toast is good. Let me just scrape that. It's burnt all the way through. That mess needs to get thrown in the trash.
We're not holding our breath. Until then, here's what Republicans will do, okay? We're going to pray, obviously, for Sheridan and her family, every American citizen victimized by these senseless, avoidable crimes.
Yeah, but they don't like you praying for stuff. We
will continue to fight for the rule of law and to call out the madness when we see it. And here's what we will not do.
What?
We will not allow Democrats to hold our airports and our country hostage so they can re-implement their catastrophic, deadly open borders policies and threaten the lives of our children.
Then abolish the filibuster. Don't talk about it, be about it. I mean, The Democrat Party is an existential threat. That's what they are. I mean, when you see what they are trying to do and who they're focused on, and knowing why they're doing it, the goal, they are an existential threat to the whole country. They were talking about us. The greatest threat to the homeland is, and I'm going, no, it's not MAGA. We're trying to save the homeland. You guys, if they get back in, that border is going to fly wide open.
This is common sense versus crazy.
Your daughter Megan went missing last February. She was found dead, and illegal was charged with concealing your daughter's body.
Yeah, there you go. That's normal. That's normal behavior for Americans, right? Yeah, he didn't see nothing wrong with that. Oh, what? I just had her in a drum back there. I don't see what the problem is. So here's an American that's been impacted by their precious illegals. Nobody calls her. None of them called her.
I picked up on this comment. You said your stories and all the stories of angel families are ignored.
Yes,
all of them.
They are. They make the news. Some of them.
Only on local channels and on conservative channels. Yeah, you don't see them ever leading in on CNN, MSNBC, talking about breaking news. An illegal immigrant just killed it. Nah. They won't do that.
That are more egregious, more sensational. And then when that shock is over, people forget. People forget about them. They're not talked about, and people dismiss them as being included with the same on the same level as every other crime.
Yeah, because that's how you water it down. That's how you soften the impact for folks who say, "Wait a minute, hold on now. This lady got killed by somebody who shouldn't have been here." Yeah, well, you know what? Don't try to focus on that. I mean, look, Americans commit murder every day, and if it was up to them, all of these crimes that are committed, they don't even qualify it based on a legal immigrant versus an American citizen. That's when they want to make you think that these are Americans out here committing these crimes. Only when they're backed into a corner to have to go ahead and confess, okay, that person was here illegally. And don't forget how Joe Biden said that when that guy who killed Laken Riley, and he called him an illegal immigrant. He had to come out and say, "I'm sorry. I should have said that. Undocumented." That just goes to show who they cater to. They want to make them feel comfortable. They don't even want them being called illegals. That is for all the dummies in our country so that they can accept this crap. They want to go ahead and drop this psych op on us to make us think these people are the same as us. They're not illegal. I mean, you know what? That's kind of a harsh word to call them. They're legal aliens. But see, if you keep telling the people, they're just undocumented citizens. They're just undocumented Americans. They're just, like you just said, a Maryland man. They're your brothers, your sisters, your nieces. There are citizens. You keep saying that long enough, and dummies will start to believe it and accept it. Until a whole bunch of them show up in their neighborhood. Then they get mad. But they don't want to highlight these cases because that shows the distinction between illegal immigrants and American citizens and the impact that it has. So keep these type of cases quiet as possible. Let it just drift off into people's memory. Maybe the Republicans won't keep bringing it up no more, and people will forget.
Committed here in the United States by other citizens, and it's just different.
It's different. It's a slap in the face to Americans when these people will kill Americans, and these are the same people that the Democrats are fighting to keep in the country. It's a slap in the face when you try to make it seem like, well, you know what, Americans commit just as many more crimes than these people. And they never stop to think, wait a minute, what's the difference? What's the difference? Oh, the Americans are already here because they're citizens. You brought these people here. And most likely, these people were detained several times. By the time you murder somebody, you've probably been arrested for other stuff several times and let go, only to end up killing an American. Cause and effect. If this person wouldn't have been brought here by your policies, they would have never killed my whomever. But they want to make it seem like it's all the same.
It's different.
Jennifer, you heard the soundbite from the mayor of Chicago?
That
you heard the soundbite from the from the governor of Illinois. I understand the governor has not reached out to you. Maybe
Not
that
at all.
changes, but they seem to see that the white.
What are you going to say? I mean, what can a Democrat say to an angel mom? I mean, what can you say? I mean, can you imagine this dirtbag that we're about to see in a second calling, one of these parents? This is Pritzker, or this is Mayor Conehead. I heard about what happened to your daughter. Just sad. You have my condolences. That's what they'll get. Click. As you sit there and watch them on TV, constantly going out there demonizing ICE, constantly going out there fighting for our undocumented neighbors.
White House and the president is to blame here. Do you understand
How dare
that?
they?
Do you understand that logic?
No, not at all.
See, she feels it. She feels it. How dare they? See, that's how I feel. I'm telling you, the disdain for these Democrats are deep in my bowel, in my gut. It comes from the gut. I'm not singing it from the throat out. I'm bringing it all the way from the diaphragm. I despise the Democrats. I'm not singing from the nose, from the throat up. Nah, from the gut. I despise them. And so this lady has real, it's like, how dare they? Blaming Trump? And then you see the Democrats get on and they fake like they're mad. How dare Trump do this?
Governor Pritzker needs to point the finger directly at himself.
Bam.
These are his policies, his laws that they enacted with their super blue majority in this state. Nobody has had a choice. They have run us over with these policies that protect these illegal aliens above and beyond the citizens of Illinois. And
bam. So how can folks vote for them? See, that's why they can't call these people, because they know they're responsible for it. They know it. I mean, that's like calling somebody after you burn down their house to apologize. Hey, I heard your house burned down. Sorry to hear that. If you need anything, let me know. I'm here for you. Wait a minute. I saw you on video throw gasoline on my crib and burn it down. Now you calling me talking about I heard about what happened. And I'm going, yeah, it happened because of you. That's why they're not going to call.
it is absolutely despicable.
For my 20 years.
Now, if you don't think that these people don't care about us, watch this confession. Now, this right here, this is what I'm saying. When these folks get on TV, whining about our undocumented citizens and ICE and all of that, if you want to know why Democrats really hate ICE and want to abolish ICE, it's simple. They want all their legal immigrants to stay because they take them over you. If you don't believe me, listen to this.
Covering this issue, the trade is this. They want more border security and enhancement. Democrats want a path to citizenship. This time around, the negotiation didn't have a path to citizenship. It was entirely on their terms in order to get Ukraine funded, right?
Well, I mean, Chris, that's been a failed play for 20 years. So you are right that has been the Democratic strategy for 30 years, maybe. And it has failed to deliver for the people we care about most.
For the people we care about most. I wonder what people he's talking about. What people? Tell us which ones.
To the undocumented Americans that are in.
The undocumented what? So wait, I didn't know I was undocumented. Is any of us Americans undocumented? The only people that are undocumented is illegal immigrants. But this fool gave us double for our trouble right there. So first of all, he goes and says, well, the people we care about most. And I'm thinking, surely he's going to say American citizens, right? Nah. Undocumented Americans. That goes to show how they view them, how they want us to view them. See, that's what it is. This is the psyop. Don't view them as illegal immigrants. Accept them. Let us keep saying this over and over again. They're undocumented citizens. They're undocumented Americans. I remember Joe Biden said, some of them are more American than us. That's what we want y'all to think. Let us keep telling y'all that, that these folks right here, your brothers and your sisters and your neighbors, they're our community. We're going to protect our community. We're going to protect our citizens. We want to blur the lines between illegal immigrants and American citizens. And this dirtbag right here gets out there and makes a confession about who they care about most. Undocumented Americans. And Republicans are running this on the real. They're not running this on the reel right here. If you want to know who the Democrat Party care about, listen to this. Undocumented Americans.
This country. This is also not 2013 any longer when we ran that play last.
All of the residents. If you don't believe it, listen to this. Now, remember, an illegal immigrant just murdered somebody in this dirtbag city. And what does he do? Takes this time right after that to go ahead and try to attack the very apparatus that would have deported this dude if it wasn't for y'all dirtbag policies. He's out here too soon, man. Too soon. Right after. And what is he going after? ICE. They couldn't even pause for a minute. That is why I say you cannot despise these people enough. So now listen to this. He's going after ICE.
Who participated in our snowplow naming contest. Keep speaking up in every way and any way that you can. I look forward to meeting with the Chicagoans who submitted the winning names, and I look forward to seeing our city's pride, our spirit, and even, yes, our humor represent us again next year.
You know what ain't humorous? The parents that lost their daughter. That's not funny. Yeah. See, so you take time to go out there, come up with some stupid slogan, going after the very agency that would have and could have deported that dude if y'all wouldn't have sanctuary policies and soft on crime policies. And then you go out there right after that and attack ICE, abolish ICE. You know what that does? You abolish ICE and all of the rest of them in your city that probably was running around with that guy remains in your city to go ahead and terrorize Americans. And this fool is so tone deaf. They're so blinded and fixated on protecting illegal immigrants and going after ICE. He goes right out there and he's going after ICE. Now, he's not saying ICE, y'all need to come in here and get anybody else who might be thinking about doing something like this to one of my citizens out of here. But no, he wants ICE out of there. He wants to get rid of ICE. Man, I tell you, I'm sorry I'm going off. I'm sorry I'm going off, y'all, but I'm upset about this. I really am. And watching these people lie, manipulate, they're so evil. It takes everything in me not to develop hate for these folks. So I just got to hate the party. I just got to go ahead and throw the label of hate on the whole Democrat Party because they're disgusting.
And so with that, take a moment to, I guess, take in all that you all have been waiting for.
All that you all been waiting for. Take in. And the reason they're able to get away with this crap is because they don't get enough exposure of what they're doing. That's what it is. See, I mean, he knows that this will pass because it really is circulated in conservative, arenas. Come out, say something real quick here or there, and then rely on all the dummies who don't watch conservative news, to keep this fresh in their mind. So I could go right back to going ahead and going after ICE. Yeah, I had to go ahead and make some radical, some statements out. Yeah, everybody, we hate crime, and crime is bad all over. But now let me go right back to demonizing ICE.
This moment is finally here. The snowplow with the most votes, most entries, abolish ICE. Thank
now
you.
They spent money on that stupidity. And look what somebody asked them. Look at it.
Oh, I want to get a chance to marvel myself.
Did you reconsider rescheduling this event given the shared informant by an undocumented immigrant?
No, I forgot that even happened. Yeah, when did that happen again? That was like, what, a couple years ago? Oh, that was just the other day? No, you think I'm caring about that? You think I even considered that, when it came down to PR? How would this look? Right after the very people who we are fighting ICE to keep them from deporting these people, kills one of our American citizens. And what do? Rush right out there to a mic because I'm a dirtbag Democrat. And what am I going to do? Celebrate some stupid truck promoting abolishing ICE. The same ICE that could have saved his daughter's life, their daughter's life. The same ICE. And I want them gone. And you wonder why I want to get this dude in the octagon. He's number one on the list. Number one. I'm telling you, I would pay him to get in the octagon with me. If I was a billionaire, I'd give him $1 million for 5 minutes in the octagon. That's all I want. I'm gonna get every dollar of that million out of that butt whooping that I put on this dude in the octagon. By his choice, of course. By his choice. Okay. All right, let's continue.
Well, look, as I've said before, my condolences to the family of Sheridan. This is a terrible tragedy.
Terrible tragedy. It could have been avoided. Terrible tragedy caused by us and our policies. Look, as I said before, I'm mad that you're bringing this up right now in my celebration. Here I am talking about abolishing ICE. And you're going to bring that up? You're a Debbie Downer. You're a Debbie Downer.
And what I've said from the very beginning, I'm going to continue to use every single tool that's available to me to protect the residents of the city of Chicago.
To protect the residents of the city of Chicago. Now you see the blurring of the lines? I mean, who are those citizens of Chicago? Who are the rightful citizens, the rightful heir to our tax dollars, all of our facilities, all of these programs? Are they, is he talking about American citizens? Notice what he did. He blended them in with Americans because he wants you to think they're Americans. Now you see, do you now see that these people, all they care about is illegal immigrants? He's tiptoeing around addressing that murder as much as he can. And sure enough, is not going to bring up the fact that an illegal immigrant did it. He just wants to let you know he's protecting all of their citizens, all their citizens.
And this tragedy
trying to think
is not going to deter us from our work.
Oh, it's not going to deter us from our work of protecting these illegal immigrants. That's what it's not going to do. Forget you stinking Americans.
In fact, it's going to challenge us all to double down on our efforts to ensure that we are protecting every single individual across neighborhoods.
Now you see how slimy that is? To just belittle everybody's intelligence. Like we don't know he's talking about illegal immigrants. I mean, and there are some dummies who don't get that. That's the problem. They don't realize how these people are trying to use American citizens and their kindness and their ignorance and all of that to protect folks that aren't Americans. Yeah, trying to blend them in with us and talk about, that just encourages us to protect all of our citizens. Yeah, y'all protected that dude who shot the lady. That's who y'all protected. Yeah, let him out. And then look at this. If you don't believe they're trying to psych up us and make us accept these people, watch Big Fat Body right here get mad when somebody labels these precious illegal immigrants as illegal.
Can you talk about the distinction the governor makes between illegal and legal immigrants? Is there a difference? Are illegal immigrants more of a problem?
Well, the term undocumented immigrants is the appropriate term here.
Well, since when? Since when? Since y'all decided to make them your new voters? The term undocumented citizens is the proper term here. Not according to me. Nobody checked in with me to change it. That's just like they just rename black people as African Americans. I'm like, no, we're black. Latin X, Latina X. Democrats, man. Come up with these new terms. All so that we can accept them. The proper term. You see? No, that's the term you're trying to introduce to us and make us accept that. So you don't imagine them jumping over fences, coming through fences, running past the National Guard. They don't want that imagery. They want you imagining them cleaning your pool, maybe picking fruit, smiling, ding. That's what they want. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm. And the fact is that we're not going to send 11 or 12 million people outside the United States.
Oh, the fact is we're not going to send them out here? Well, isn't that odd? You brought them in here. See? Now all of a sudden, now we can't send them out here. I mean, I despise them. I despise these. Now, you want this dude being our president? You want these folks running our country? That fool just sat there and said, first of all, they're not considered illegal. The proper term is undocumented. And then we're not going to send 11 million people out of our country that we brought in here on purpose. And now you don't want to send them out on purpose. That's why you're fighting against ICE. See, yeah, you brought them here for a reason.
That shouldn't be done.
Want them to hold the line, even if that
Oh,
means.
now watch this. See, this is another dude I want to jump down his throat too. Yeah, I need about 2 minutes in there with this dude. Let's check out Bug-Eyed Booker. Bathroom Booker. He should be asked questions about what took place in that bathroom in Vegas. But nah, listen to this fool demonize ICE, a sitting member of Congress.
Means TSA agents still not getting paid.
So the problem with TSA not getting paid is it's not our choice. This is a choice Donald Trump is making.
So once again, skipping over the involvement and the necessity for them to vote. We can't pass it without your votes unless we go ahead and abolish that dang on filibuster. That's what needs to happen. But here's Bug-Eyed.
What we've been demanding. I know that they're calling this the Texas two-step. I prefer the Jersey, get the hell out of my way. They put ICE in our airports to cause more chaos and frankly cruelty to the passengers who are waiting in long lines.
You see this? Now you see why I say these people are evil, and I don't see how anybody could vote for them. He just said ICE is there to cause more cruelty for people in line. How? Like, they just say stuff. They get on here and they say this stuff. And I'm saying, you're talking about ICE. You're talking about American citizens, first of all. You are demonizing these folks. And that's not even a rational demonization. Now they're in airports just to bring more. And I'm saying, why would they do that? That's what they're there for? Boy.
That's not where ICE belongs. We should have paid TSA weeks ago. Democrats have for 7 times tried to get them just to pay TSA, pay FEMA, pay the Coast Guard.
And the irony is the very agency that they're fighting against and shutting down TSA over is now being used to assist with that shutdown at the airport. It backfired on them. Now they're sitting there like, the same people we talking about that we need to abolish ICE and change this and that are up in that bad boy, and folks are enjoying themselves because now they can get where they're going.
We are fighting over ICE because they've been doing horrific, hellish things in our communities, slamming Americans to the pavement.
Slamming Americans to the pavement. So now, does that apply to any American that interacts with law enforcement aggressively or resists arrest to get slammed to the pavement? It only is a problem when Americans that appease ICE and harass ICE and gets in the way of ICE and threatens ICE, when ICE slams them to the ground, now all of a sudden they're just slamming Americans to the ground. But any other Joe Smo, you get caught shoplifting at Walmart and the cops grab you and you start fighting with them, they're going to slam you to the ground. So now, does that go across the board? Any folks that resist arrest, anybody who got a problem with law enforcement, breaks the law, and they have to get slammed to the ground, now the Democrats are going to come to their rescue? They're going to come out there, you can't be slamming Americans to the ground. No. What did this American do to get slammed to the ground? You don't want to talk about that, right, bathroom? Yeah, you just want to make it appear that these ICE agents are going around randomly just finding Americans to throw to the ground for no reason. On face value, that sounds ridiculous, but he don't care because he's a Democrat. And he's talking only to dumb Democrats who don't even stop to think, that don't make no sense.
And barging and breaking down doors to American homes.
To American homes. And what are they looking for in there? Huh? Are they looking for Americans in their bathroom? Are they looking for Americans? What's their motive? What's their job? What's their whole job? To go after who? Illegals. But you don't want to mention that. You want to focus on American homes. Just lying.
Pulling veterans out in their underwear and putting them in zip ties. So it's usual bluster. He has again made this grand statement. I'm not going to sign any bill that comes to me unless the SAVE Act comes to me first. The SAVE Act is a massive voter suppression bill.
Right, the same lies. They all say the same lies. Everything. A massive voter suppression bill. Women who got a last name different from their husband can't vote. All of this, everything they're doing is focused on protecting who? Illegal immigrants. Everything they're doing all revolves around illegal immigrants. So now they got to come out there like bathroom here and lie to you about why it don't make sense to require only Americans to vote.
It would make it very difficult for millions of Americans, especially women. Especially women. Changed.
How did I know he was going there? How did I know he was going to go at that? Especially women who changed their names, because women are stupid.
Their name on their birth certificate no longer matches the name on their real ID or driver's license.
Impossible obstacle to overcome. How you gonna overcome that? That's it, you're doomed. Life is over once you get married, y'all. We've been figuring this out for years now, but all of a sudden now I don't know what to do.
It would cause chaos to voting and really shrink the voting rolls 5 or 10%.
Now you do realize how belittling of your intelligence, that's another reason why you should be upset about this party. You should be like, man, I can never vote for y'all because you think we're all stupid. I mean, Democrat voters don't realize it. This whole party exists because of you. This whole party gets away with these lies because of idiots, because of stupid folks with low political IQs, low social IQs. That's the only reason this party would get laughed out of business if people had common sense. When I think of this party, I say, how in the heck I would be embarrassed to vote for them. I would be offended. I'd be like, man, you think I'm a Democrat? Don't you ever call me a Democrat, man. But anyway.
Given the effect it would have. I was talking to a retired, very moderate senator yesterday. We were both laughing. Democrats should just be quiet and let somebody like Lisa Murkowski, who did a big chart, big state of Alaska she put up in her speech and just...
You mean the rhino? I mean, some of these Republicans shouldn't even be Republicans. Rand Paul, what are you doing? Lisa, it's always the same ones. Always the same rhinos where you go, oh, I already know they're not going to vote for whatever. You don't see that with dang on Democrats for the most part.
Showed what the SAVE Act would do to voters, making them have to hop on planes, fly across her state, which is pretty vast, just to be able to present identification at the right place. We do not need voter suppression in the United States of America, and we do not need another scheme from Donald Trump.
Oh, that's what it is.
Who's still litigating his 2020 loss. Another scheme by him that would make it more difficult for American citizens to vote at the polls.
Or could it be the opposite of what you're saying? This is a scheme by you dirtbags to get undocumented citizens to vote. A big scheme. That's why they don't need to get, they can get licenses in your cities and states. They can get IDs. And sometimes they go on to, register for something that automatically registers them to vote. All of that stuff. That's why you don't want the voter IDs and the citizenship and all this stuff. You don't want that. But you're saying it'll make it harder for Americans to vote. And I'm saying, no, that's redirection, bathroom. Only a dummy would listen to what you just said and think that's what it is. It wouldn't be able to see, no, the only thing that act would do is make sure illegal immigrants could not vote. Now, isn't that odd? The same illegal immigrants that one senator just referred to as undocumented Americans.
I'm almost at the Newark airport right now, and I've got one simple message.
Look at this.
Get ICE out of my airports.
Get ICE out of my airport.
TSA. We have tried over and over again to stop you from holding hostage the TSA and causing all this pain to the American people. And you won't do it, Donald Trump. You won't do it because you want to use our TSA agents and the American people. You want to use them as political pawns to create leverage for you to fund a reckless and out of control agency.
Now, do you know how insidious, how evil you have to be to sit and think about how you're going to address this and try to make it make sense? And you are coming out lying through your teeth. Y'all planned this. It's a strategy. You're straight up saying the opposite of what's really happening. You're projecting, but you strategically thought about this. These folks sit and think about these type of strategies. That's what makes them so dangerous. This right here, he's saying, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come right out there, do a little video, make it seem like Trump is the one that want these people not to work. He's the one that's shutting it down. ICE is a threat to the... You have to think of this stuff because they all say the same stuff. And they're evil enough to say it with a straight face, man. How could you trust any of these people?
So I say very simply again, fund TSA and get ICE out of our airports.
And so what's happening? And now he does a little press conference in the airport. Always performative. Always a showtime.
Today in America that should outrage everybody.
Now notice, airport empty. Looks like everybody's moving and shaking. Where's your audience, bathroom? See, looks like things are going well. Where's ICE in the background tormenting all of the Americans there? Where are they? Or are you getting up here making a spectacle of yourself while demonizing ICE?
He's taking this very same agency that has been bursting into our schools, into our churches,
lies,
into our hospitals, into our courts, and even into the homes of Americans. He's taking that agency.
You left one group of people out though. Yeah, you named a whole bunch of locations, and then you brought in Americans, but you're not talking about all those illegal immigrants. Isn't that odd? Don't want to bring them up, do your bathroom.
That is reckless and out of control and bringing them to our airports.
Reckless and out of control and bring them into our airports as if they're going to come in like Yosemite Sam, all in the airport. Woohoo, yeehaw! We're the most rootinest, tootinest. Unbelievable. These people, man, got the gall to say that, like ICE agents should want to just go to work on these people. I mean, if I'm an ICE agent, I'm going, what did he say about us? Dude, if I see Booker, I'm going to have words with him. Unbelievable.
Under the lie that somehow this is going to help deal with the long lines that he created in the first place. This is an outrage.
An outrage, y'all. This is an outrage. Everything's an outrage. You see how much and how hard he got to work to convince you of this lie, this bullshit. So now as everything looks peaceful in the back, he wants you to think the opposite of the environment behind you. That is how sinister and evil these people are. They will look you in the face, tell you everything's chaotic, ICE is all off the chain, it's that this is an outrage, and yet you will see behind you that, wait a minute, everything looks fine. Only a dummy would say, well, I'm not going to look at what my eyes see. I'm going to listen to the words of Cory Booker. Unbelievable. But he tells you it's an outrage.
We should not have an agency that America doesn't trust. An agency that literally has seen violence against Americans. An agency that is tearing away American families.
No. Tearing away American families. Notice that they keep saying Americans. They're leaving out the main ingredient, man. That's like saying, you know what, spaghetti, and you're going, well, is there any meatballs in that spaghetti? No. Well, is any spaghetti sauce on there? No. Then it's just noodles. Well, no, it's spaghetti. No, I wanted to see, where's the red? I want to see some noodles and with some sauce and some meat. But you up here talking about some spaghetti. And I'm going, no. You're missing the main ingredient that makes it spaghetti.
Tearing apart American families and arresting and detaining Americans.
Tearing apart American families, arresting and detaining Americans.
And violating due process rights and civil rights.
We will melt ICE, and I have a bill to do just that.
Yeah, you hear that?
We will dismantle the Department of Homeland Security.
Oh yeah, forget the safety of all of us Americans. Now, you want these people back in charge? Do you understand how dangerous these people are? I mean, it's beyond me why the Republicans don't see this in the Senate. It's beyond me why they don't see this threat. These people aren't even pretending anymore. They are even more radical. They're saying it out on cameras. They're telling you what they want to do, telling you what they're going to do to Trump, telling you what they're going to do to ICE if they get back in. Already know they're going to blow open the borders. Already know they're going to give all these people amnesty. And yet, Republicans, we want to make sure that we and I'm saying, dude, abolish the filibuster immediately.
Because frankly, at this juncture, nothing less is acceptable.
We will melt
ICE funded. It was funded in the big.
Y'all ready for some more demonization of ICE? This guy, matter of fact, he's tied with Mayor Conehead. I would take on both of them in Octagon. I'd be like, I'd take on both of you. Yeah, they're tied. I take on both of them at the same time. Listen to what he has to say about ICE.
Beautiful bill.
So why don't we just fund TSA?
Well, in the reality is that in the offer that Senate Republicans brought to you a few days ago, there was a plan to put funding for enforcement at the border. Plus, of course, Republicans want the SAVE Act in a reconciliation package and fund the rest of it.
That's right.
And yet Democrats said no.
Yeah, because they're agents of chaos and they just want to disrupt things and fight for their illegal immigrants. So now watch him say some of the worst stuff that you could possibly say about ICE, just with a straight face.
Your viewers understand. It would ban mail-in voting, something the president did in the last election.
Here we go.
It would essentially make it really hard for women who change their last name when they get married to vote because they need proof of U.S. citizenship at the polls when they vote. It's a voter intimidation, voter suppression effort. And the president is—
Come on, get those talking points out for the dummies. Because right now I'm listening to this, I'm going, shite. I think I can smell shite. And y'all all vomit up the same shite. It smells the same. Isn't that odd?
Tying TSA pay to that, which is also absurd. And also, I don't want to give a penny more to TSA or DHS, even if they are already funded, because what I'm hearing from constituents and what I'm seeing is that they're dragging women by their hair, throwing them into unmarked vans, chasing people through the—
Dragging women by their hair, throwing them in unmarked vans. Do you hear this trash? Do you hear this stinking douchebag right here lying on ice, just dragging women by their hair like cavemen, throwing them in unmarked vans?
The fields and factories where they work. They've committed public executions, 2 of them.
I think he might have just edged out Mayor Conehead. Committed public executions. Public execution. Do you hear what he just said about ICE? Public executions. 2 of them. What about that public execution that just took place in Chicago a couple of days ago? And all of the public executions that take place from you guys protecting these illegal immigrants. Don't want to talk about those public executions? And this guy just said that. That is why he just edged out Mayor Conehead. I don't know. It's a tough one. Any given day. But now, with hearing that, he just said they publicly executed somebody for no reason, I guess. And notice he's not talking about illegals. He's always talking about Americans.
And co-signing off on this is just not who we are as Americans. And there's a simple way to do this. I think you pointed that out at the top. And the Senate Majority Leader would be wise to take that deal.
I think that you may have misspoken. You said—
yeah, you think you may have misspoken when you said ICE publicly executed 2 people. But instead, look what she corrects him on.
TSA. You don't want to give another penny to TSA. I think that you meant ICE.
I'm sorry. I thank you. I meant ICE.
Yeah, let me help you out.
TSA should be paid.
Yeah, if that was Trump, he's see now, he's mixing up words and stuff like that. So she blew right past the fact that this dude just said ICE publicly executed 2 people and went to, I think you mixed up DHS. And I'm going, that is why they get away with this. That is why they're so evil. They know they can be evil on display publicly and nobody calls out that evil.
ICE and Border Patrol has always been my position that they should not be funded.
Everywhere ICE goes, trouble follows. We've seen that. And it is highly likely the airports will be no exception.
Oh, really?
No one trusts that ICE is going to make things better.
No. Once again, ICE agents have arrived here in Philadelphia, but I do want to point out, this is an empty line right now. We are standing in the middle where travelers come to check in for TSA. Yesterday, this was all the way back to the garage.
Well, wait a minute. Where's ICE dragging people by the hair? I don't see him in the background harassing people and scaring people, like Bathroom Booker said.
So good news today, lines aren't too bad. We're live from PHL. Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6.
The lines are getting shorter. I think the average wait time now is under 40 minutes. So if you have a flight to catch today, it's a good time to come to Hartsfield-Jackson International. Talking about the ICE agents, you can see a few behind me right there. And then I'm going to walk you this direction, and you can see some more of them gathered over
here. Look at all the
chaos.
chaos.
What they've been doing for the most part.
Look at all the chaos, y'all.
Is doing the patrols around the airport.
Oh, the terror.
And gathering, not really helping the public in the sense of they're not taking tickets from anybody.
Look at them sitting around in their little huddle trying to find some random American just to attack, or a person of color, Look at that. How evil they are. We just heard politicians all throughout this live stream say the worst things about these people. And look at them right there. ICE is incompetent. They can't do nothing now. Looks like things are cleaning up at the airport.
With the public we've seen so far. They're not checking anyone's ID at the TSA.
Say that it's 100%.
Now listen to this. Listen to this smart American. And this is what I'm talking about. Every American should be thinking just like this. They should be able to see through the shite. Listen to this guy.
It's on the Democrats. There was an 18-year-old girl killed the other day by one of the immigrants let into Joe Biden's open border. And now some of the provisions for the Democrats to want to settle this, what was it? I heard it's to get a warrant every They want to throw an illegal alien that shouldn't be here out of the country. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Trump is doing the right thing, and if they agree to Democrats' demands, would handcuff them on everything. And it's ridiculous. It's their fault. It all goes back to the mess that Biden and Harris created by opening the border to begin with. None of this would be happening if Joe Biden didn't let in 20 million illegal aliens, and you saw how easy it was to close the border once Trump got elected.
You see that? See how smart? I love conservatives. We're able to connect the dots. We see the big picture. We see how we got here. All he just laid it out from rooter to the tutor. All started with Joe Biden bringing them here. Now they're trying to protect these illegals. They're the one to shut down the DHS and all this stuff. Now they want to go ahead and put all these restrictions on ICE so they can protect these illegal. Very simple. Very simple. How do people fall for the shite?
So this is 100% on the Democrats. They could make a deal tomorrow. The only Democrat that with any spine to stand up to their crazy agenda is John Fetterman. I would vote for him in a second. It's just the Democratic Party has gone off the rails in the last 5 years, and with their policies and longer than that. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
That's all I have to say. But then you get a dummy like this to come in.
Just fund TSA. That's the right answer to this question. President Trump said ICE agents to airports to help, I guess, deal with long lines. What a foolish decision. They should just fund TSA.
What a foolish decision. They should just fund it like it's that easy. You see what I'm saying? They just get on here lying like they have no say in that. Oh, they can do it anytime they want without us. But they'll get on there and lie straight to that camera and make people think it's all Trump. Has nothing to do with us. And somebody said, I don't trust Fetterman. Me either. He could go either way any day, any given day.
Democrats for weeks have been calling on the Republicans to fund the transportation safety agency.
No, you haven't been calling on them to fund transportation safety. You've been calling on them to make sure ICE can't do their job. That's what you've been doing. But you leave that part out.
See, so that the TSA workers will get paid. And if they're getting paid, they're less likely to call in sick or quit their job. We reached a funding agreement about TSA now months ago. And we've said to the Republicans and to the White House, we want to have a discussion about ICE reform, about the agency ICE. Reform? But TSA, the Coast Guard, FEMA, the cybersecurity.
A discussion. No, you want to hold us hostage. You want to hold those DHA the folks hostage. You're the one using all of them. But he just says we just want to have a conversation about ICE reform. That's all. Knowing that y'all will never agree to it.
The agency CISA, let's fund all of them. There's no reason that people have to be waiting in long lines at airports. There's no reason that TSA agents have to be working where they're not paid.
See how easy the lies roll off their tongues. The deceit. I mean, the strategy. They all set and thought about how are we going to package up this false narrative, this lie, and sell it to the people. And we're going to have to rely solely on dumb people. We already know smart people are going to look at us and say, these are liars. But we got enough dummies. That's Trump's fault.
How do you think it makes TSA agents feel to be at airports working?
TSA when they know that you guys are responsible for this, you liar.
Paid while ICE agents are standing around not doing much and getting paid.
Let me tell you what's really going on here.
Tell us.
Republicans are refusing to fund TSA and the Coast Guard and FEMA because they're using the shutdown of TSA as leverage to try to get more money for ICE.
We already got the money for ICE. Okay. Yeah. You don't tell nobody that. Look at the guy. Look at the guy sitting there. The CNN guy. Yeah. I'm such a hard-hitting journalist, but I have no idea all of the intricate details about what you're talking about. I have no idea that ICE is already funded. I have no idea. I have no idea that you guys we can't pass this unless you guys sign onto this. You guys vote for it. I have no idea that that's how things work. I'm going to let you go ahead and sell it to our audience as if Trump can do this whenever they want. The Democrats and Republicans can do this anytime they want. We've been saying go ahead for weeks now. So this guy right here, I guess he doesn't know any of the details. He's there for nothing.
Democrats every single day go to the floor of the Senate and offer legislation to open up TSA. Republicans reject it. We then offer a motion to open up the Coast Guard. They reject it. We offer a motion to open up FEMA.
But yet he's not talking about how they reject what the Republicans offered up. They offered up all of this stuff that y'all voted for last time, but you rejected it. All because you want ICE iced. That's what it is. For your who? Not us. precious illegal immigrants.
Reject it. The reason is God help.
Okay, Stephen is going to close us out right here. Because see, this is how I feel. This is how upset I get listening to these evil folks and just the thought of them getting back in power. God help us if that happens. And Stephen is going to close us out with this.
God help us if they ever got back in power, Sean. Look, under Joe Biden, we know they let in 20 million illegal aliens.
20.
Sex trafficking, labor trafficking, human trafficking, drug dealing, cartel slayings, one atrocity, one horror show after another.
And I wonder if our stupid Republicans realize what's at risk. I wonder if they understand what we just came through and the bullet we dodged. They ain't going, in Trump's case, literally. I wonder if they know that. I wonder if that's worth abolishing the filibuster. I wonder if this risk is big enough to go ahead and redistrict every single Republican city and state. I wonder if it's big enough for us to go ahead and pass the SAVE Act, regardless of these corrupt, evil Democrats who don't want it because they want to cheat. And you're going to allow them to do that? Because you want to, make sure that, you're following decorum. You don't want anybody. And I'm saying you do realize by doing that, you're going to allow them to cheat. Man, whoops, my fault. Sorry. Let's go ahead and finish.
Department of Homeland Security, illegal alien.
And
go ahead.
So FEMA, they reject it.
They reject it.
Cartel slayings, one atrocity, one horror show after another. Now here they are trying to end the Department of Homeland Security, trying to disable the heroes who keep us safe each and every day. Remember, this department, Sean, was created after 9/11. It was created to ensure that foreign nationals could not enter this country and kill Americans. And now this party, the Democratic Party, they're at war with the heroes trying to keep the terrorists from killing our loved ones.
Bam! They're at war with the heroes. Because the heroes are getting rid of their illegal immigrants. So basically, they're at war with us because those illegal immigrants threaten the lives of American citizens, threatens the jobs, the social safety net, all of these things threaten us. But they're going to go after the heroes. That's how nasty and stinking these Democrats are.
That's what we're up against, Sean. And to your point about voter ID, why would a political party refuse to support proof of citizenship, refuse to support voter ID when you brought in all these illegal aliens?
Think about it.
Unless you were trying to ensure that illegal aliens could vote and tilt the balance of power. This strikes at the very heart of our democracy. This is about whether or not democracy as we know it survives in America, Sean.
That's how serious this is. That's how serious it is. Because if we blow this, and they get back in power, they're going to make sure that we never have a chance to disrupt this evil, stinking cabal ever again. Yeah, they're going to do that. Yeah, they're going to try to get even with Americans that rejected them, who's able to see through their crap. Just as plain and simple as Stephen right here is able to see what they're doing. They're transparently evil. I mean, you all you got to do is say, dude, it's obvious what y'all are doing. You get on TV, you lie with a straight face. You try to say, though, it's because of women can't vote. Now, this is Jim Crow, all this stuff. Yet at the same time, fighting to keep millions of folks who are here illegally in the country. Y'all don't think we're able to put that together, 2 and 2? It's so obvious what they're doing. And I'm saying we all see it. It's like a slow train wreck. And I'm going, we got time to stop it. The train's 12 miles down there. We know it's coming. Okay, remove this from the track. And yet, we're it's not going to be it's going to be hard to do. We need to have. And I'm going. When you got an enemy that wants to destroy you, destroy what we've built, destroy what this country is, you cannot just knock them out. You got to make sure they're never able to get up. You got to do that. You can't just say, let me push them down. Yeah, you can't do that. You're dealing with an enemy. If you let them get back up, they're going to stab you right in the back. And they're not going to care about, we held on to our traditions and we made sure that they're not going to care. That they're expecting that. They're using that to actually try to say, yeah, let's go ahead and see if the dumb Republicans try to take the moral high ground and the higher, so that we can go ahead and take the dirty underground route. Yeah, let them go ahead, and Putin fought around, let us slide back in, and we're going to do everything that we hoped that they wouldn't do when they had the power, because we're dirty enough to do it. Now, God bless you. God bless America. That's why I just cannot see why any sane American can vote for Democrats. We just watch them lie over and over again. Coordinated lies. That means these are willful, coordinated lies. These aren't, I'm just on the spotlight. These are, we've set in concoction this narrative, this lie, this whole scheme. And yet we don't think Americans see it. We think we got it hidden, man. Yeah, we think we got great acting skills. Yeah, got our game face on, and I'm going, I see right through you, and I'm going to expose you every chance I get. And if YouTube gets off my back, I'll expose them even more to a bigger audience. And that you can help. So by hitting like, sharing my videos, following me on all the other social media platforms, my other channel, and don't forget to, share. I think I said that already. But don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you can do it through my Cash App, my PayPal link, all that good stuff. And what else? I might slide back in tomorrow, depending on how I feel. I got to get up and go to work in the morning, so who knows? But if I can, I will. Other than that, man, God bless you. Stay safe out there in the streets. And we'll see you next time in Kevin's Corner. God bless. Take care.